Everybody to the Wild Wild West.
What's going on, guys? How you doing? Welcome to season 2, episode 3 of Hooked on Lakers. My name is Arshia K. We're here to talk Lakers basketball. Topic of this week is Lakers are ball in. We're sitting at 6-8 record, which I think is awesome, given that we're young, we're inexperienced as a team. We're playing in the Western Conference, which undeniably is the toughest conference. Probably the top 10 teams are all worthy of making the playoffs. So we're right in that hunt. You know, we're sitting at second place in the Pacific, which that doesn't mean that much. But what that does tell me is that we're ahead of the pack as far as teams that are developing and teams that have had draft picks for the last few years. So, you know, comparing us to other teams that are similar in their development process or their team makeup, I think we're right at the top of that pack, and that's where we need to be. You know, we're not going to be competing against the Golden State Warriors or Cleveland Cavaliers, not even Boston Celtics, because they've got, you know, a couple stars on their team now. But, you know, comparing us to other teams that are kind of like us, we're right at the top, and that's all you can ask for, because those are the teams we're going to be competing with in the next 5-10 years. So 6-8, I think is a great record, and the great news is that the next 5 games are all winnable games. So if we can win 3 out of the 5, we're continuing to rock. If we win the next 4 out of 5, we're actually going to have a winning record. So as long as we continue plugging away, playing team defense, passing the ball, being aggressive, then we're going to continue, doing great things in the next 5 games. So to get to the topic of this week, the Lakers are balling. It's obviously about Lonzo Ball. There's a lot of debate on how the team is doing, on who's playing well, who's the best player. All I know is we got this new 19, 20-year-old point guard with all this worldwide hype that his dad has created, and he's taken a developing young team where we just got rid of our first number 2 overall draft pick of successive draft picks, and replaced him, and he's taken this team to 6-8 record in the West. We've beaten the teams that we need to beat, basically, and set us up now to have a winning record within the next 5 games. I mean, I couldn't ask for more. Nobody in the last 2 years was able to do it, and he's doing it, and he's 19, just turned 20 years old. So I think without a doubt, even though his stats might say otherwise, I think just his effect on the team, on the game, I think he's our best player right now. I like to look at other areas of players' games to kind of gauge the kid's potential. Not just stats alone, because that can be deceiving sometimes. The guy can just come in during garbage time and just fill out the stat sheet, or you come off the bench, etc. So there's different ways to pad your stats and make yourself look good. But, you really have to look deeper than that to kind of gauge a player's worth. Another thing you could also look at is the plus minus. But that's not everything in itself as well, because that could be affected by who you're getting teamed up with. You might be teamed up with a really good defender who kind of changes things for you. But one thing I like to look for is persistence. You know, when a player has a bad game and they're kind of experiencing adversity, how do they handle that? And you kind of learn a lot at the early stages of their career, because that's kind of a characteristic that's going to be with them their whole career. You know, you can't teach work ethic. So if if he has a bad game, how does he handle the next game? And they say superstars never have two bad games. They always used to say that about Kobe. Kobe never had two bad games. So if he had a bad game, watch out. He's going to come gun in the second game. Does Lonzo Ball have that? And for what I've seen, he does. The guy takes the game very, very personal, which is a beautiful characteristic, because you know this guy's going to give it everything he got. And so there were some nights where he had atrocious shooting nights, couldn't hit anything, no threes, couldn't hit a layup, wasn't hitting his free throws, and then they lost. But then he'd come back the next night and totally make up for those poor performances by doing really well in those stat categories or those areas of the game. And that's what I'm looking for. Will this kid battle? And he has. You know, he had some really bad shooting performances. Then he has a triple-double. So, you know, this guy, I think he's going and thinking about his game. He gets angry about it. He probably doesn't want to be around anyone. And instead of going out and partying and doing crazy things, this guy is trying to figure out a way to solve this problem so he can come back and fix that the next day. And this is a leader. This is what we're looking for. Players like that who take it personal and are persistent. The second thing is you can't win championships without D. They always say defense wins championships. And that's what Luke Walton's trying to instill on the Lakers now, is a defense-first mentality, then offense. Because we're always going to have the offense. You know, we're the Lakers. We always have offense. But it's the defense that is what's going to win us games. And, you know, he's starting from first day of training camp. You know, he's been going over defense first. So how's Lonzo Ball's defense? Well, his offense hasn't been very good, but when you look at his defensive stat categories, which are rebounds, steals, and blocks, he's doing very well in those categories for a point guard, especially a 19, 20-year-old point guard. So if you're filling up those areas, that means you've got to be playing some D. They also have a 6-8 record. So when you're looking at the stat category 6-8 record, this guy's playing defense. Now, some people are saying, well, his on-ball defense, his one-on-one defense sucks. It might not be that good. I wouldn't say it sucks. I'd probably use the word average with room to improvement, but his team defense is definitely phenomenal. I mean, the guy goes and gets all the rebounds. He's blocking shots, which is an anomaly in the NBA as a point guard. The only other true point guard that blocks shots that I know of is John Wall, and he's another tall point guard. He's 6'4", Lonzo's 6'6". So to be blocking shots, getting steals, getting rebounds, that means this guy's involved on defense. From team aspect, he kind of sees the court very well. He knows when he needs to help out a teammate. He knows when he needs to go in and get the rebound. So I think he's a great defender, and I think he has room for improvement if he improves on his one-on-one defense. So persistence, one, he's a good defender too. And thirdly, the next thing I want to talk about is his ability to manage high levels of stress. And what I mean by stress is it could be a positive, negative thing. You know, it just depends on how you perceive it and how you handle it. What's unique about him is he has two powerful forces, which most players don't have that. He has the one force that his dad's created, which is all the worldwide hype of him, you know, being Lonzo Ball or the son of LeVar Ball and Big Baller Brand and whatnot. So you get all that hype coming into the NBA, even before you've had your first game, all that hype. So that's a tremendous amount of pressure. The second one is the pressure associated with being a Los Angeles Laker. That in itself is a tremendous amount of pressure because it's the most highly valued sports organization in all of sports. So, you know, it's the standard to which excellence is measured. So he's got all that hype and pressure. So he's got these two powerful pressures that's weighing in on him. And when you have that, there's only two things that could happen to you. Either you're going to go straight down and sink, and you got to find your way back up again, or you're going to rise to the challenge. And obviously, it's been the latter. Latter's been the case. You know, he's definitely thrived with all the challenges. He's had some down moments, but then he comes right back up and gets even better. So, you know, I like this guy's persistence in terms of bouncing back after bad games. I like his defensive tenaciousness, and I like his ability to manage a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. You know, this guy is a clear-cut leader because no 19, 20-year-old can handle all this hype coming from two different areas. from being Lonzo Ball, big baller brand, LeVar Ball, and then being a Laker. And he's doing it. So I think people need to kind of chill out a little bit and respect this kid a little bit more, and give him the benefit of the doubt, because they're 6 and 8, triple doubles. The team is doing well. They're rocking. So I think this kid's only going to get better as the season goes. So that's all I got for this week. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Looking forward to the next 5 games. As mentioned before, if we could just win 3 of them, we're rocking. If we can win 4, oh man, it's going to be amazing. We're going to have a winning record. It's going to be incredible. So thanks again, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest, like a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be, the state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens, lean, mean, money making machines, serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon, now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining, looking like a Rob Liberace. It's all good from Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city making pay. Throw up a finger if you feel the same way. Straight putting it down for California, yeah. West Coast. Definitely in the house. Frisco. And you know LA up in this. Pasadena, where you at? Yeah, Inglewood, always up to no good. Even Hollywood trying to get a piece, baby. Sacramento, where you at?